a beautiful Thursday evening right here in the cold city of Enugu State, and you already know that it is time for the most scintillating, entertaining show on your TV screen. I'm talking about Nka, only on Afia TV, broadcasting live from the most beautiful part of Nigeria on DSTV 254, GoTV 17, and of course FreeTV 748. My name is Jummai Bulama Ashebo. Pleased to be here once again, a day, or should I say night to Valentine. I know a lot of people have butterflies in their tummies for the gifts that they'll collect, you know. And a special shout out to all the Afia staff members. Looking forward to the Valentine gifts that you guys will get. Well, I choose not to dwell on that. Yeah, if you're joining us for the first time, it's important for us to tell you thank you for opening your homes and your heart to us. Nka is a show that comes through your TV. From 8 to 9 p.m. every weekday, only on Afia TV. And we did start off the conversation by just talking to entertainers, whoever was involved in anything that had to do with entertainment, and we've sort of expanded into talking to real people with real life stories and stories to inspire you and, of course, me. And tonight wouldn't be any different. We do have someone who you see a lot, someone whose views a tad controversial, someone who a lot of people have a lot to say about what she does and what she says. But I will be introducing her in just a bit. Don't go anywhere, Nka. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Nka, only on Afia TV. And yes, I did promise to introduce our rather fantastic guest tonight. And for those who do not know, tonight we're diving into something unconventional. My guest tonight is one who is sure to, spark some interesting debates. And she's a woman who wears so many hats. A lot of people do not know this. She's an entrepreneur, she's a sex therapist, she's a consultant. And one thing a lot of people know her for is the fact that she's not afraid to challenge societal norms. She has built her business from the ground up and is very comfortable talking about sex and relationship in such a conservative country like Nigeria. And she's definitely built a reputation for being fearless, unfiltered, and true to all she believes in. Well, joining us tonight is a businesswoman, sex therapist, consultant, entrepreneur, Ajie Fortune, popularly known as the Girl Talker. Good evening. It's such a pleasure to have you with us tonight.
To clear up all the misconstrued that people have about me. So let's get into it already.
All right. It's important for us. First of all, I'd like to ask your take on Valentine. Are you one of those people who believe in Valentine, who, I don't know, who is interested in all Valentine's sides for, or you're someone who doesn't care?
Um, I really don't care about Valentine. I mean, it's not one of the days I see as being very special. If I don't receive anything on Valentine's Day, it doesn't bother me because it feels like every other day. I just see people go about, oh, Valentine, you didn't get me this. Relationships get a bit tensed at that time. But to me, it's really nothing. You can love yourself all year, all day. So if you want to pick a special day called 14th of February to now make you feel like if you don't get anything or if you don't get appreciated, then on that very day, whoever you're expecting love from doesn't care about you, then you must be really into some deep self lack of self love because like it's just a day, it's just Valentine, it's nothing to it. But
Well,
people are different
yeah.
and people expect different things from different people. And for some people, if I do for you, I expect you to do for me. You get so I mean individual different. But for me, I really don't care.
All right, got it. I'm sure some Nigerian ladies are looking at you with a stinky eye saying, you say what? You don't care about Valentine? they can't relate. So I definitely get where you're
Yeah.
coming from. But now it's important for us to talk about your background, where you did grow up, schools you attended, and how it led you to doing the first thing. So the first thing you started doing, was it business? Was it you becoming a sex therapist? But first off, where you did grow up, schools you attended, and of course how it led you to where we are right now.
Okay, so I'm from River State, Port Harcourt. I grew up with my family. We're a family of seven. I have three sisters, girls, and three boys. I am the second to last. I have my younger sister here with me in Lagos. So sex for me, or how I got into sex was, I think, it was curiosity from my peers. Yeah, because you know when you hang out with people that are somewhat few years older than you, and they've started exploring life. And because we come from a home where your dad is a disciplinarian, your the things you hear from your friends, your associates, you just want to get curious and do them. But you know, say if you mess up, you go collect. So a couple of times I collected, like my parents dealt with me badly because of I stayed out late. I I just want to be more in the company of my friends that are talking about sex and whatnot. So, and when I eventually started having sex, I didn't know what I was doing. You get it? It was just, like I said, curiosity. Just doing what every other person was doing at the point. I don't even know how it's supposed to be done. I don't even know if it's the right thing. And some people get this virgin and they don't see blood. Yeah. We're not really talking about that. Society is not discussing that some women can get this virgin without spilling blood. I got this virgin and I didn't notice anything like you have to bleed, you gotta have bruises and all of that. So then I kept on going on with my life. Though I wasn't enjoying sex at all. I wasn't. I just kept thinking, okay, is this how sex is really supposed to be? Because like nobody's touching you right. Nobody is patient enough. What men and boys at that time just want to do and are still doing is just penetration. They just, the excitement of being with a lady, the excitement of a lady agrees for me, you're taking her inside is just to put your penis inside of it and you just keep it going. So for me, my early days of, sex was curiosity for me. I was just trying to explore. I was just trying to see what it was all about. Because like I hear stories, people saying, "Oh, I reached orgasm. I somebody gave me head. My legs were shaking. My eyes were rolling all around, and I'm like, where are they enjoy all these things? Where on are they enjoy all these things? They enjoy. I've just been chilling with the wrong set of people. And then, I went to school. Um, I think even by the time I got into school, I still wasn't able having great sex until um, 27 experiences that Yes. I think I want to talk about sex. I think I want to educate on self awareness, self love, and sex. Yeah. So when I started my journey 2017, I had just been introduced to Instagram. It was a picture thing, but I'm like, okay, I just went somewhere I could drop video, and it had an option where you could post videos. So every day I shoot my videos based off on self awareness. And before I started, I had to self aware myself. Like I had to teach myself to love myself. I had to grow, not just in the sexual aspect, but then I had to grow my self esteem. I read a lot of books prior to my starting that 2017. Between 2015, I was wrapping up from school. So like 2016, I kept reading. There were so many books that I had to read, even though I didn't finish some of the books, but I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to see different perspective of how humans think, how you can relate, how you can like, have conversations with people. Because where I grew up, you're not always allowed to express yourself. So there's a little bit of complex issues. So I'm like, if I'm going to be a teacher, if I'm going to want to coach people and consult for people in the future, then I have to build my self esteem. I think I went a bit too forward. I schooled in Anambra State. I read mass communication as my first degree, and as a matter of fact, only degree for now. So that's where I was taught communication and the rest of it. I'm even supposed to be into broadcasting, but as life may have it, some people don't want to employ you when you're ready to work, and I think that just went by with my NYC, and then I started doing my business. But now back to teaching self love, self awareness, and sex. When I started 2017, it was just me talking about how women, how young girls are supposed to behave in a certain way, carry yourself in a certain way. Just know what's up, be clean, just build yourself as a woman. Basically, that was my topic. So, but there were a few times I talked about sex, and the sex content was doing better than the self awareness content. So I just kind of like pulled down a little bit on the self awareness and just focused on the sex,
I
which is now
actually,
what
yeah.
I've done.
Yeah, I
Can you
actually
hear me?
like that so far. Yeah, I was going to say that I like the honesty with, you know, how we pretend in this country that we do not love sex. We don't like talking about sex. We're very conservative kind of people. Um, just from what you said, that, you know, your self-awareness videos were not doing as well as the sex videos. So the question I have is, who are those people watching the sex videos as opposed to the sex awareness videos? Because if we say we're conservative in nature, and Talker, are you there? Are you still with us? All right, we'll go for a quick break right now. When we do come back, we'll try to connect back to the girl talker for more. Don't go anywhere. And Kat, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Nka. We do apologize for that, of course, breaking transmission. But of course, our guest is back to join us. I'm talking about the girl talker. And right before that breaking transmission, she was talking about how when she did start off earlier on Instagram, she had videos talking about self-awareness. And of course, she also had videos talking about sex. But for some weird reason, the sex videos were doing more than the self-awareness videos. Hence, she decided to take a deep dive and concentrate on the sex videos. And it's still a pleasure to have you here with us, the girl talker.
Thank you again, Janae.
All right. So I was saying right before we had that break in transmission that we are a very conservative set of people. And we pretend oftentimes not to know a lot about sex. But me, the question I was going to ask is, your videos, your sex videos were doing more than your self-awareness videos. And it makes me wonder, who are those people watching the sex videos? And who are those people? Because you're having more numbers on the sex videos than the self-awareness videos. But now this takes me to a lot of controversial things that you have said in recent times. And of course, it's been trending from the Honest Bunch podcast. We've seen cases where you've talked about dating married men. We've seen cases where you've talked about unconventional sex positions, sex styles, and I really want to explore that a little bit. Um,
Okay.
Especially, let's start off with the married men. What is your take on monogamy, and what do you mean when you talk about you don't have a problem dating married men? I like maybe clarification if I'm wrong. I just like a little insight as to what you think about that, and then we'll get into, of course, the unconventional sexual positions that you've talked about. If I remember vividly, you talked about pegging in one of the last videos I watched. You talked about men's G spot being in the anus. So, I mean, just a little bit of some of that.
Okay, so monogamy, the it's okay for people to want to be in a monogamous marriage, right? It's okay for couples to say, I don't want to share my partner with anybody. I just want you and you want me. But that is in an ideal world. Because realistically, in as much as there are loads of monogamous marriage, but underneath that, there is a lot of infidelity going on. So some people are civil and respectful enough to their partner to want to say, okay, let me bring this person home as a second wife, and then that becomes polygamy. But our society doesn't want to accept that yet. We have low key accepted that, yeah, polygamy, we can deal with polygamy. That's why a man can have multiple women outside. The wife is aware, yet she's not leaving. There are very few women that leave their husbands because of infidelity. So monogamy is what we practice in an ideal world, how it is supposed to be, but realistically, it is not given. Because even the women want the monogamy just for the showcase of it, just for the owning and the title of he is my husband and he is mine alone. But they don't mind the behind the scenes where they understand that my husband has concubines. Some people just don't have one. Some people have multiple concubines and children that they are aware of that their husbands are having. But then the idea of monogamy just, makes you feel special, feel entitled. But in the real sense, man, if it works for you, keep it going. But one thing I'm gonna tell you guys, men will always be polygamous in nature. Like there is no two ways about it. Men want to be with one woman, but it gets to a point where they say, I'm tired of eating this particular soup. I bet make I chop a this soup today. Tomorrow I chop a more soup. You are my favorite soup, but I want to have access to other soups. So that's my take on monogamy.
All right. So, personally, I want to ask what works for you in line with talking about dating married men in terms of your experience.
What works for me in terms of dating married men?
Yes.
Okay, so like I said in that first class, yeah, it depends on where you are in your life, right? It depends on your frame of mind. It depends on the priorities that are before you. It depends on what you want as a woman, as a girl. Some people grew up with the ideology of you finish school. If you're lucky, you get a job. If you're not lucky, you don't even have to get a job before you get married. Yeah, most of us grew up with such mentality, and it has made us so confined in a space where we don't even want to explore. I'm not saying exploring with people's husband, but I'm saying exploring yourself. Because tell me why a young girl of 18 is getting married. What do you know about yourself? Okay, let's say you got into school early, you're done with school, and at 18, you're already an adult, but what exactly do you know? Your body hasn't even finished forming. Like, okay, so you get married at 18, and then you start having kids 2021. You're still growing, and you're growing another person. So there are some decisions that you don't even take right. So for the married man and the girl outside, it's just easier and more favorable depending on where you are in life. So I said on that podcast, for me, at this point in time, it just works for me to have a married man as my boyfriend, right? I don't need to I don't need his family to know about me. For me, it's just very simple and direct. It's private for me. When you don't expect so much from people, you live a more easy and comfortable life. When you're dating a married man, you know you're not to expect too much. You're dating this for a frame of time. There's something you're trying to get, there's something you're working on, and you don't want a level of distraction. So let me personalize this. I'm trying to build my brand. I'm trying to build my business. I've been building my food business for 7 years, which has even slowed down my personal brand, which is the Girl Talker brand. So I'm just beginning to pick up my personal brand again. So I don't have the luxury of time to be with someone that probably wants to get married to me tomorrow because I'm not ready for that phase of my life. The phase of my life where I am is where I want to talk to people. I want to counsel people. I want to help people. I want to build my food to the level where you're driving on the road, you're seeing talking Bole somewhere, you can easily drive in, pick up your food, make an order, and keep it going. So if I decide to date a single guy, because I know who I am, I know how nice and how sweet I can be, he might get carried away and then pop the question one day, what am I going to say? When I'm not fully aware that, yo, in another 5 years, I'm not even ready to settle down. These are my priorities right now. My business, my brand. So my priorities right now is just me. There's no third party. Right? So dating a married man for me at this point is just the best thing that can happen to me. Because like I already know at so time I don't have to call you. And that goes for him. He doesn't have to call me when he's home. He can't just pick up his phone and want to call me to ask me where I am. I'm not answerable in details to him. It's literally just on the surface. When you need that kind of lifestyle because of what you're building, then dating a married man, so far you're being respectful, you're not, pressuring him to leave his wife because some women can be very delusional to find a man, somebody else's husband. They fall in love with the man and feel like you want to now be the woman at home. Hey, most of these men don't want to take you home. They just want you for the fun you provide. And that's it. So when more women realize and understand that dating a married man for some people, it's for survival.
Yeah.
Dating married men for most people, it's it's what works for them. It's convenient. For me, it is convenient. It's not
Okay.
survival. It's where I am at a particular time, what I want to do, and that's what I want to do. Because I mean, they're a lot easier. The sex with them, it's okay. It's not stressful, and they
Yeah.
listen to you. They kind of take your advice because they know you really don't care so much about them. So it's in all way ramification. It's just a lot easier, but you first have to know what you want.
All right.
Peace.
I mean, one thing I love about what you've said is the fact that you know yourself and you know what works for you. And of course, that's definitely fine. It's your prerogative. But now let's come back. Let's segue away from this conversation into the fact that you talk about unconventional ways to have sex. Like I started
Okay.
from the beginning, I talked about the fact that we pretend to be very conservative in nature and we tend not to explore some of these things. So I like to talk about some unconventional ways to have sex that you've explored. And I did give examples of pegging. I give examples of you talking about the G spot being in the other rear. So I would like to also explore that a little bit. And of course, we'll go for a quick break right after that.
Okay. So the last podcast brought up a lot of controversies because of the unconventional sex positions and sex itself that people have. And the crazy thing, I've had a lot of clients come to me and say, Talker, this is my kink, this is my fantasy. I want to be, fucked by a woman. I want a woman to wear a strap on and fuck me as a guy, right? So people have these crazy kinks that they really cannot talk to just anybody about. You have to be a certain kind of coach or in a certain space for someone to be that vulnerable to tell you their deepest fantasies and secrets, which of course is highly confidential, nobody has to know, and we keep it going. So a lot of people do these things. That's the point I'm trying to make. A lot of people love these things. A lot of people want to watch their wives being fucked. A lot of men want to have threesomes with their wife, but they don't know how to have the conversation. They will be judged. They will be looked at as disgrace. They will just lose all the respect that they have. Why would a man be proud to tell his girlfriend, his side chick, oh, please get me one of your friends, let's have a threesome. But you cannot have these conversations at home. And these men forget that a lot of these women, before they got married, they were doing all of these threesomes. A lot of women have given men rim jobs, but haven't given their husbands rim job. A lot of women have had orgies. A lot of men have been to the craziest of parties where everybody is stark naked and everybody's fucking everyone. But now they are married and they've become saints. And this goes for the both parties. The male and the females have mostly done all these crazy things. Then they come together, they decide to get married, and everybody's just pretending. You can't even have some certain conversations about sex. And that's how hypocritical humans are. When he mentions sex, in fact, up to now, I still have people trolling me for saying rim job is a thing and how it is done. People come into my DM and say, "Oh, now you say make person the chop person yash." Like, what the hell? And if you check it out, this same person has probably given someone or received rim job or has given somebody cunnilingus or has allowed somebody wear a strap on and fuck them. So it's just how, like I said, hypocritical humans can be. If not, I mean, the essence of sex is for it to be fun. Sex is not meant to be clean. Sex is a dirty act. And the moment people realize that sex is a dirty act, you just want to um, make it a bit more spicy. Yeah. So let me go into rim job a little bit. When you're trying to give your partner rim job, even if it's cunnilingus, and cunnilingus is head, like when a man is giving a woman head, and then blow job when a woman is given a man head. So in all of this, people, individuals should just try and keep the private clean. Like before you go into this, find a way to clean up, wash up, and just keep the environment clean. Because the only danger and the only problem is when those environment is not clean. Or when you move from the vagina to the anus, from the anus to the vagina, then you can start spreading bacteria and all of that. But if you stick to one particular place to pleasure at a particular time, everybody's going to be fine. People enjoy these things, but pretense no go let us just be move ahead in life. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's rather I'm looking for the word. That's rather informative. You have definitely informed a lot of people tonight who are watching us, and you said some things that I'm sure in their lifetime they haven't heard before. We'll go for a quick break. When we do come back, we will be exploring more into your life as a sex therapist and more. Don't go anywhere, and Kat, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Nka Only on Afia TV, and it's been such an informative night with the girl talker. She is definitely taking us to a place where I'm sure not a lot of people have definitely ever been to. And while it's a night to Valentine, it's a lot to take in and it's a lot to definitely reflect on tonight. But it's still a pleasure to have you here with us, the girl talker.
I can hear you. It's breaking.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear now.
Yeah, still a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you. Pleasure is all
All
mine.
right, right before we get back into the conversation, there's something we do on the show where we get to appreciate our guests and make them feel loved. And tonight, we'd like to put a smile on your face and surprise you just a little bit. Studio, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's put a smile on the girl talker's face tonight. So, like, it's,
Where you guys get that from? Oh my god.
how far
This
back is
is
that photo?
20. Oh my god, look at how pretty I was
I
looking.
know, like you have no bad photos. I went deep and I deep dived and I tried to look for them, but I didn't find any.
Right. Oh, you guys wanted to back. Oh my god, my sister was getting married here.
Oh, how far back is this photo?
This is 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, this is 2013. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. I've been slaving for the longest
You
time.
have. You definitely have. Believe me, you have no bad photos. I went far and wide to
Right.
check. I didn't find
This
any.
is me and my younger sister.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you. And that was a Valentine. Yeah, that was a Valentine picture. Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
interesting.
god. This is oh my god, look. What the skinny, very skinny.
I was going to ask,
Oh
like,
my
it feels like you
god.
haven't changed, you haven't added weight, it feels like you're the same. How do you do it? Especially when it comes to your body
Whew.
size. Oh my goodness.
I put up a little bit. Oh my god, this used to be my favorite picture for the longest time.
How
Oh
far
my
back is
god,
that
how
photo?
time flies. I'm just laughing. This is making me so happy. Oh, look at that baddie. Right? You know, like I used to cut my hair and just keep like a little fro. I've always looked good though, so
Yes,
yeah.
you have. You have no bad photos. You definitely have no bad photos.
Right. Thank you. Ooh. Gosh, gosh, I can't stop smiling.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man. Skinny me. Mm, okay. Oh man. I said this was around 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, this was 2014. And that was for Taco. Ah, this one. I can't even remember. This is a long ass time ago as well. My pink lip. Oh no! Oh no 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 no! Come on! Look at my
Ah,
glasses. This is. But this was the era of color blocking. I
yes.
block shit with
Mm,
colors. Damn.
yeah.
Look at me now. My scarf purple, my singlet, my bit.
And you've
Oh,
always
this.
liked to wear shades. So, I mean, we can see it evidently in your photos.
Oh my god! This is beautiful. See, still in the color blocking era.
Yes.
This is good. This is I love it. I love what you guys have done.
Yeah.
This is good. And I've always loved sunglasses.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, you've always loved it. It's evident in your old photos. Well, one of the things or one of the reasons why we showcase your old photos is to give you a blast from the past and to remind you of how far you've come. You've come a very long way,
Right.
in doing business and all that you do, and we just want to let you know that we're rooting for you because we know for a fact that the best is yet to come.
Of course. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, a thought crossed my mind. You talk about how you interact with your clients half of the time. And one of the things that came to mind is what would you say is one of the most surprising, unusual requests you've gotten from a client?
So, by the virtue of what I do, it's no longer surprising to me that most of my clients want to have a personal time with me, right? So they keep asking me, um, Talker, I want to be with you. How much will it cost me to spend time with you? What do you want? Um, how do you want it? I'm coming, and most of these people, some of the time, are not even in the country. So it feels like they're going to put me on a plan. I'm coming into the country sometime soon, and I want to spend time with you. I want to just be with you. So this has been going on for the longest time, and I expect it because of how I teach, the way I dress when I teach. I tend to be a bit part of my body is exposed. So some people have a lot of crazy ideas about me, and I don't blame them. Which is the only way to keep them interested in listening to what I have to say. I mean, when I talk about my food business, a lot of people don't want to talk. A lot of people don't want to listen. If you go to my page and you see the content I make about my food, they have very low likes. People don't even engage. So, but when they see part of my body is exposed and I'm just talking about sex and doing my thing, people want to get involved. So people keep asking, I want to be with you. Let me fly you here. Let's go on vacation. It's okay. But then one thing is constant. I don't I keep telling my clients, I don't fuck my clients, right? I don't fuck people from social media. If I'm fucking with you, I have met you one on one in real life. I like to meet my men. I like to have something to do with someone that I walk into somewhere and they like me and we build a connection, not somebody that comes into my DM and you. No, I don't even have time to talk to the point where we get to know each other and then we begin to date. Hell no. All of that doesn't work around me. So that's the most common demand I have from my client. Coca, I want to be with you. And for me, I don't do hookups. So how are you going to be with me? And the crazy thing is, I don't have a studio where I can entertain clients. I have studio, my office for my Bole business, which is where this interview is taking place right now. But I'm working, and pretty soon I'm gonna have a studio where clients can come in. It's gonna be like a sex or an intimate wellness center. That's in the pipeline. It's coming pretty soon. But currently, all my clients, all my meetings are virtual. Like you're not seeing me one on one. There's absolutely nothing you want to tell me for now. Just tell me on an audio call or WhatsApp call. That's why I have a consultation link on my bio where you can click the link, book a consultation, and we talk about whatever we need to talk about. So, yeah.
All right. So you talk about various unconventional sex positions. What is one myth you hope that people will stop believing when it comes to unconventional sex or sex positions?
I think you need to. I didn't hear the first part of it. You need
So
to go
yeah,
right
I was
ahead. Yeah.
talking about the fact that of course you talk about, because it's what you do, you talk about unconventional sex or unconventional sexual positions most of the time. And I'm asking, is there one myth that you wish people would stop believing as it concerns unconventional sex?
Is there one what?
Myth, misconception about unconventional sex that you wish people would stop believing?
Okay, so people believe when you start having when you start doing okay, so let's take rim job for instance. Rim job is when a woman or a man is using their tongue to lick the anus of your partner for pleasure's sake. So people believe that when it gets to that point where somebody can now decide to go this big, then they have lost their minds, right? Like it shouldn't be that. It's just sex. It's not a big deal. It's just pleasure. So it's not gonna kill you. Don't worry. You're not gonna lose your mind. You're not. Nothing is wrong with you. You're just exploring what sex is supposed to be. So yeah.
All right. So I'm directing this question to you. What would you say is something, you talk about sex and you have so much experience when it comes to sex as a sex therapist because you've read widely. so as to be able to converse with your clients and, of course, understand where they're coming from and know what to advise them on. So, what would you say personally is one of the craziest maybe things you like to try in the bedroom that you haven't really gotten to yet? What would you say is something crazy or something you have in mind or something you talk about half of the time when it comes to sex, but you haven't really tried?
Okay, so it's gonna be um, it's part of BDSM, yeah. So BDSM, it's bondage sex. It's those kind of sex where most of the times you're handcuffed, your legs are tied to different parts of the bed, depending on where you are. You're a bit um, under a little pain, some sort of pain. Yeah, that some people enjoy painful sex. Some people enjoy being beaten before having sex. Some people enjoy being abused before sex. I'm not talking about being abused. I'm just talking about, being confined to some sort of pain that I know I'm being fucked, but I feel pain. So sweet pain, if you know what I mean. So it's BDSM for me that I would want to try. I haven't tried it, but I think I want to try it. There are people that are into it. I have a lot of clients that are into it. I have clients that want me to tie them up, want me to flog them, want me to, shit on your face, spank them, and do all sorts. But I have maybe okay, I don't know, but yeah, that's what I want to. I want to try it at some point.
So I'm curious to know, do you just talk to male clients or do you have married couples who you have advised about their sex life and it has somewhat helped them in their marriage or relationship?
Oh, I have a lot of that. As a matter of fact, I have a program for couples. It's my it's sort of my intimate party. So I have couples that come to me to host intimate parties for them. So this couple says, my marriage, our sex life isn't going exactly the way we want it to go, and we just want to explore a little bit. Can you organize something for us? Can you maybe get a girl and a guy, and then me and my husband or my wife just give us an intimate scenario where we'll probably want to be with these people and they watch us have a good time, and we can also have a good time with them if we want to. So like these services are being paid. We pay people to to do that. So I offer those packages as well. So I have couples that come to me for solutions and that, but I have more of the male. I don't have a lot of female clients. I think I'm beginning to have female clients now, but I've always had more of male clients and then some couple too. Yeah.
So, in line with all you do, because when I did start off, I talked about the fact that you're an entrepreneur, and in line with this conversation, you talked about the fact that you have grown your business, which is Talking Bole, for 7 years. You've been doing this business and you've been growing it gradually. What is one thing that people assume about you that is wrong?
People assume I fuck every day.
Only that?
There's more. There's more. People assume I fuck every day. People assume um, my food business is a hobby. People assume I have a lot of money. People assume I I talk about sex, but I don't know anything about sex in practical, right? So
Yeah.
when someone says your own are just mouth, when you go reach bed, you not feel do anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, like people look at me like that a lot.
Okay. So, in conclusion, especially with the fact that you definitely raise awareness to some unconventional things that have to do with sex as a sex therapist, which a lot of people know you for. more than the fact that you do have a business, you have an entrepreneurial side to you. Um, what would you like people to take home tonight, right before our final break? What would you like to leave the people with, as it concerns the girl talker, all you plan to do in the nearest future, and your plans for what's coming next?
Okay. So before we started, I didn't eh, actually or exactly introduce myself. So my name is Ajie Fortune, aka the Girl Talker. I am a businesswoman. I run a food business called Bole, and I've been running this business for 7 years in Lagos since 2019, just after my NYC. I think I was still doing NYC when I started Bole. And I just want people to see me more than the sex that I teach. Yeah, a pretty lady like me or a sexy woman like me teaching sex will attract a lot of attention more than just an average woman teaching sex. And I've known this for the longest time, and I do not even mind. And I've used my sex platform to push my business to the point where it is. When you get to my food business page, my Talking Bullet page on Instagram, you scantily see me there because I've tried to separate the food from me. So I have a different personality when I'm running my food business. I also have a different personality when I'm running my consultation business, which is the sex therapist. So these two personalities kind of have conflict. A lot of people don't want to associate with me from my food perspective because I teach sex. And that's just people being, people stereotyping people in a way that, oh, because you teach sex, then you're just good for sex, right? I've been running my business consistently. And even before I started talking Bole in Lagos, I've been doing food business in Port Harcourt. Even though I wasn't making money back then, I was just doing it because I really want to do business, right? And I did that, finished school, moved to Lagos, and decided, okay, this time around, I want to do something really proper. And I chose Bole and fish to sell. Some people, okay, some time ago, there was this guy I was seeing. When I met him, he was already having issues at home with his wife. And at some point, the wife felt I was the reason why the guy wasn't being the husband that he's supposed to be, which clearly didn't have anything to do with me. So at some point, she was sending me DMs and she was calling me, referring to me as ordinary Bole seller, right? And this is somebody that your husband is paying shop rent for you, and you're not even making sales. You know, those kind of women that their husband spends millions on just to get them out of the house. The shop rent expires, they renew. The things they sell are for family and friends. They're not doing anything. The husband fixes everything. And here is me that started my business with just 50,000 naira. Like when I started talking about like 2029, my capital was 50K. Like I didn't need so much because I had space, but I knew where I was headed. But now we're doing six-figure numbers from 50,000 capital to a lot. So a lot of people just look at it like you teach sex and that is just all you're about. When I'm not even teaching sex, I'm right here where I grew my belly and fish, and that's where I'm sitting down and having this interview with you. So my entrepreneur part is an everyday real life for me. But most
Okay.
people think I'm just, all about the sex. It's not all about the sex for me. Sex for me is knowledge. It's for me trying to make sure the next person that is listening to me is curious enough about sex and want to explore sex. Because like sex is a major part of a relationship, a major part of our life. People that don't have sex tend to be angry, tend to have mood swings, tend to be pissed off at really almost nothing. So if you're out there and you're watching this video, I want you to look at me like, yeah, I'm a sex therapist, I'm a consultant, yeah, but I also run a food business. So I'm just not only caring about your sexual well being, I'm also caring about your belly. Like, if you have a taste of talking belly, Jimmy, when you come to
Eh,
Lagos, you must have a taste of belly and fish. It's the best thing after fried rice.
I'm definitely looking forward to trying that. But it was such a pleasure having you with us tonight. And I'm sure that a lot of people will definitely see a different side to you than they see on blogs and podcasts, because tonight we have a
Exactly.
perfect balance of the business side of the Girl Talker and, of course, the sex therapist and consultant side to Girl Talker. Thank you so much for joining us. It was such a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And on that note, we say goodbye.
Okay,
Do
bye.
also follow us on all our social media platforms at Afia TV Official and keep a date with the beautiful, amazing Grace Ajayi. For news tonight, only on Afia TV. I think it's an honor for me to say Happy Valentine's Day in advance. Hope that you do have a wonderful time. I remember Jumai Bulama Ashebu saying good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.